So the reason why I wanted to do a PhD in the first place, so I was thinking about this a lot. I think retrospectively, and if I want to be like super profound about it, it's because I wanted to I was really interested in science and I wanted to kind of leave a legacy. And I wanted to do something that was going to like change the world and like win the Nobel Prize. But then, like, if I'm going to be real about it, it's because I couldn't find a job after I graduated. So I did my honors and then I tried to apply for all these different jobs and nobody wanted me. And because, like, yeah, because I don't know if this is too much to share. I did a psych degree and I did honors. And, like, after a psych degree, usually you either do, like, clinical psychology or you, like, if you work for corporate, you go to, like, work for HR or whatever. But I didn't want to do either of those things. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to sort of get a job in the area. And then I saw this PhD scholarship ad come up. And so that's what I ended up applying for. And then I got in. And then that's where I went from there.
But you did want to become a researcher, though. I think that, before applying for a job, you're like, oh, I'm going to be this.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was interested, but I didn't really know too much about the research pathway other than just like seeing what my professors did. And I didn't think I was like super interested in doing that because I didn't know where it would lead. And I didn't really want to be a professor necessarily. But at the same time, like there was like, I didn't know what else was out there. And then when I tried applying, no one wanted me. And so like, yeah, that's pretty much what led me to be where I am now.
To talk about why I ended up doing a PhD, I think when we got to honours, there was all this like fear messaging or fear mongering about how competitive the clinical masters is. They're like, oh, you know, first class honours isn't going to cut it. You need publications, you need work experience, etc.
Wow.
So I think I was forced to consider other options. And I had no idea what a PhD was. Like, I think I kind of associated it with lecturing or being an academic at a university, but I didn't know what that was. But this guy one day came to give a talk in one of our honours years units, like one of our capstone units. And he was like kind of clarified the fact that PhD is research and master's is practice. And I was like, fair enough. I think I kind of registered that research I'd be able to help people just on a larger scale compared to doing individual practice.
That's interesting.
And it sounds impressive. Like on to my Asian family.
Yeah, that's the same thing as well. Like, because you get to call yourself a doctor without having to do a med degree.
Oh, and also there was no fees. That's the big one.
That's the other thing as well.
Like the clinical program is ridiculously expensive. Any master, like the organizational side, other ones, forensic side, they were all pretty, you know, it's like 50 grand, right?
Yeah.
The
2 years.
PhD is free.
Yeah.
Not only is it free, they pay you to do it.
Yeah. I think that was one of the things that drew me to it as well. Even though the pay is abysmal.
It's a really poorly paid job. But at the time, when you're a student and they're like, oh, $500 a week, not bad.
In my head before my PhD, I thought I can work part-time and do PhD part-time. So I was doing all the numbers. I was like, oh, okay, I can have the extra $500 and that's free.
No, but that's right, because you came from a little bit of a different pathway.
Yes, I worked for 5 years and then I decided to do a PhD. So, and in my head, once I got a PhD, I can just work from a cafe near the beach and just writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why did you want to do a PhD? Because you're working.
Yes. Yeah, so for me, it was because you realize long enough for my work that I can't change anything. The problem is just going to happen over and over again. And I thought that if I'm able to produce something on the high level, I'll be able to influence some systematic change and enhance people's lives. That there won't be new family that's impacted by the same issue over and over again.